Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DeVos Fieldhouse for the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic, the 20th Annual Classic. I'm Blaine Wiersbicki alongside Lenny Padilla here to bring you the call for tonight's games. First up, we've got Cornerstone University versus Calvin College. Lenny, thanks for joining me on the broadcast this evening. So, looking at these two teams, 1-1 for the Calvin College Knights, a little different on the NAIA side. Cornerstone's got 7 games in. They're 6-1 overall. Haven't lost since their first game, where they dropped a game to Spring Arbor at home by a score of 72-64. Calvin split both games at home. This is their first game away from Van Noord Arena.
This is always a pretty good matchup, especially locally. Cornerstone always has a very, very good team, and Calvin has been up and down lately, but they're always still quite a good team too.
And going over the starting lineups right now for both teams. And looking down the starting lineups for Calvin, Cam Denny and Michael Wilkes, the forwards. Austin Bykirk is a transfer, and this year he's starting at the center position. Bykirk this year leads the Knights, averaging 10.5 points a game in their 2 games so far. Tony Canoni and Mike Siegel, your guards, to round out the starting lineup for Calvin. For Cornerstone, Kyle Steginga and Corey Cox are the forwards, your 2 leading scorers. Steginga in 7 games averages 20.1 points per game, and Corey Cox averages 18.7. Sam Vanderslice, the center, Michael Mclaughlin, and Riley Costin, the freshman guard out of Hudsonville last year, into the starting rotation. And I tell you what, I got a chance to call some Hudsonville high school games last year. Riley's phenomenal on the court, a player who can shoot, can pass, can run the offense, and he's earned himself a starting spot here as a true freshman in the Cornerstone starting lineup.
Huge bonus tip for Cornerstone to get a player the caliber of Riley Costin.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Costin, highly touted recruit in this area. There's not a team at this tournament that didn't want him, and ended up with the Golden Eagles here, and Cornerstone huddled up on the court ready to go with Calvin.
I believe Austin Bykirk originally went to a school down in Iowa called Dort, and he was a Unity Christian product, but a bonus for Calvin, bringing him in here as a transfer.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Clearly a team that, you lose your big top scorer last year in Jordan Daly, a senior who gave so much to this program, and nice to get a guy like Bykirk coming right in and making an impact early on. Obviously, we see Bykirk right away lining up for the tip here. Kyle Steginga on the other side for Cornerstone. Bykirk's got an inch or two, but Steginga has definitely got some bounce. Here's a kid who can get up and just about ready to go. Game number 1 here from DeVos Fieldhouse. Bykirk and Steginga up, and Steginga goes up, wins the tip. Cornerstone will have it to start. Here's Mclaughlin up the floor, and now Costin. Riley Costin, the true freshman. Running a little motion on the outside to get things started here. They look to go back door to Steginga, but Denny had it covered well. Costin is stopped. McLaughlin looking to go inside now. Go up to the left, and that one's good. A nice finish. Sam Vanderslice, the center, getting things going. A lot of size on the floor at all times when you mix in Steginga, Cox, and Vanderslice for Cornerstone. Now Calvin moving it out of the wing, looking to get to Denny in the post. Denny was Stegginga defending, a good matchup. Out in the corner, three is good. Bykirk gets that to go. You got a big man with that shooting ability. That's tough to defend.
You don't expect that from Bykirk, but that was a nice shot from the corner.
Calvin with a 3-2 lead early. Out on the wing now, Mclaughlin looking to get something going here. Able to get it inside and score the first possession. Stegginga wants to do the same. Being defended by Denny. Goes up strong to the left. And boy, that's tough to defend when you got a guy with that kind of strength and size going inside.
Stegginga, I believe, is a right-hander naturally, but he loves to go on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I think he just likes to find the opportunity to roll to the left. Maybe people playing his strength to the right. Of course, Stegginga from Holland Christian originally, right here from Holland, playing a game close to his hometown. Three going up now, the big man. Denny couldn't get it to go. Cam Denny's a guy, another guy with that kind of size, maybe you don't expect to shoot, but boy, he tore it up against Hope in both matchups last year, hitting some shots from way deep. And here's another three going up. That one's good. Counted for 3 points. Corey Cox gets it to go. 7-3 lead for Cornerstone.
Cox might be the best three-pointer on the three-point shooter on the team. I saw him hit 6 in a game last year.
Just a couple minutes in, seeing some scoring already. Calvin looking to respond. Kick it out. Denny thought about another three, but missing the first probably made him think otherwise. Good feed inside. Turnaround. That one just wouldn't quite fall for Michael Wilkes. Almost tipped back up by Siegel. Here we go again from the wing. That one's short. That was a bit forced, I think, from Corey Cox there. Pretty well defended early in the shot clock. Probably could get a better look. But when you're feeling hot, you already hit one. You never know. Tipped away. That one's lost by Wilkes. Here comes Cornerstone the other way. Mclaughlin. Cox trying to drive. He's got a lane. Look like he lost that. Poked away. And had a pretty good drive there. Just couldn't hang on.
It looked like Cam Denny got a hand in there.
So going back the other way now to Calvin. And Cornerstone electing to put on some full court pressure right away. They get it into Cam Denny. Stegginga will work on him. He gets it up to Tony Cannoni. First time we've called Tony Cannoni's name, finally with the basketball. Here's Denny. Now Bykirk back to Cannoni, almost taken away by Mclaughlin. Cannoni able to go back door, tip it out. Three ball up. This one's short, rebounded underneath. Trying to go ahead a little too quick, and a nice pick off there. Cannoni. Now he'll pull up, nobody there, so he'll shoot a two. Couldn't get it to go. That's going to be over the back, I believe. It will be indeed Michael Wilkes. Went over top, trying to get the rebound.
Vanderslice has a couple rebounds in right there. It looked like they tried to go over his back. So he's getting good position down in the paint. Yeah,
Vanderslice definitely a force to be reckoned with underneath. He is the center, a lot of size for this team, but definitely Vanderslice in particular standing at 6'8", a 240-pound center.
In for Cornerstone is Michael Bradshaw, junior from Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Out onto the wing now, and that's Bradshaw right off the bat. Stegginga looking inside. Now he looks like he's going to take it himself. Mclaughlin in the corner. Shot fake, thought he might have a three. Back out to the big man wide on the wing. Here's Cox. Shot clock down to one. They got to get it off. That's a force two, and that's a great shot right there. Sam Vanderslice to turn around right at the buzzer. Here's Cannoni now barking out some signals as Cornerstone's out to a 9-3 lead here on the Knights. Trying to feed it down low for Michael Welch. And offensive foul on Welch. He was defended by Vanderslice.
I think they actually called traveling.
Oh, that was okay. Had the ref's view blocked from a few players, but yeah, the travel, regardless, going to turn it over to Cornerstone. A chance to build on this lead. 9-3 early on. Drive, McLaughlin pulls up two. Tough finish, almost got it to go. That one's tipped around. Cornerstone comes up with that lack of hustle underneath. Coach Vandestreek is furious on the sideline. And a foul going to be called. Are they going to get Denny here? Indeed, Cam Denny is going to pick up his first foul.
I think the reason that Coach Vandestreek put in 6'8" Michael Welsh was to counter the big man on the other side in Vanderslice.
And right there, Denny, one of the other big men for Calvin, picking up the foul. A lot of size on the floor right now. Just seems like almost everybody out there is 6'6", 6'8". Going inside, Vanderslice. defended by Denny, turns to the right, good defense from Denny, picked up the pivot foot, says our official right here on this side. Vanderslice looked a little surprised, but called for the travel.
In for Cornerstone is another guard. It looks like Marquis Hatter from Holland.
Indeed, Hatter, a West Ottawa graduate, so another Holland kid playing for Cornerstone back here in Holland. Out on the wing, 3-ball, that one well short by Wilkes. And they go outlet here, Stegenga, watch out, he can throw it down. Instead, he goes with a left-handed layup, keep the defender at bay.
That was a great outlet pass by Michael Bradshaw to Stegenga.
An 11-3, a big lead for Cornerstone. Coach Vanderstreek wants some changes, and we're going to see some subs. Kronemeyer coming out, and he'll check in at the next opportunity. And looks like Nate Drews as well. Nice defense to start off this possession. Halfway through the shot clock, Denny will launch a deep 3. Won't get it to go. Calvin looked like they were in position to get an offensive board, but Welch was just boxed out very nicely. 3 from the wing, off the mark. Quickly back to Calvin. They go up ahead. Mike Siegel will bring it up the floor. Siegel, nice crossover to get to the bucket, but good help from Vanderslice with a block and a rebound. Vanderslice has been a big presence down low so far.
Not a good idea to try to shoot right on Vanderslice.
No doubt. Stegenga going inside, showing his strength. My goodness. Calvin has no answer inside. It's just a battle of will. I think Stegenga is stronger than anybody Calvin has down in the paint right now.
He's just powered in there and put it up again left-handed.
We've seen him 3 times now go in and score with the left hand already, and it's all been strength, nothing finesse about it. Power moves, and just like that, Cornerstone out to a 10-point lead, 13-3 early on. And for Calvin, Bykirk started out early with a nice 3, but they haven't scored since. And it's 6 for Stegenga, 3 for 3 shooting inside, all left-handed as I mentioned. He's got a rebound. Vanderslice with 4 points, also 4 rebounds early on. So a really nice job for Vanderslice down low right now.
I mean, Stegenga is showing why he's the conference player of the year, I believe, back-to-back.
Yeah, certainly he was one of the most highly touted recruits coming out of this area. Another guy that chose Cornerstone from straight out of Holland. NAIA getting some big names from West Michigan. And that's what's great about this tournament, the 20th annual Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. A lot of local players, guys who played against each other, played with each other in high school. It's always fun to see. A great chance for people in the area to come see a lot of players they know, their local teams. Denny, that's a tough shot right there.
Forced it left-handed.
Lucky to get it right back, and that sets up an open 2, knocked down by Michael Welch, his first points of the game.
Nice long-range jumper there by Welch.
Yeah, Calvin needed that break. They were forced into a tough shot. Denny had a tough one with the left hand, just shovel it up there. And Cornerstone's been stifling on defense. Here's Cox, corner 3, gets it to go.
And that's his shot. They cannot let him have that all day.
Now 2 for 3 from that side from 3-point range, good for 6 points. Lead back up to double digits now. Cornerstone up 16-5. So here's the Calvin offense. It's been a bit stagnant the last few trips down. Hoping that maybe Kronemeyer, somebody that can change that. A guy that knows how to drive and kick. Drews, this is a dangerous 3-point shooter. And he hits the 3, but after he's called for the travel, they said he picked up his pivot foot. Drews disagreed. Not sure I really saw it either. That was strange, but just must not have seen from my angle.
He tried a little shot fake, but it looked like he picked up his foot. I didn't see it. But
no, I didn't either, but that's the call. Drews definitely looked surprised, and what's worse, Drews knocked down that deep 3 right after he got it by the defender on the shot fake, but doesn't matter. Still an 11-point lead for Cornerstone. Going to the left now, Cox gets the floater. That's a nice finish right there from about 10 feet.
Corey Cox can fill up a stat sheet quickly.
And Cornerstone has a team filling them up. They're starting to run away with this game early, 18-5. Calvin's got to get something going on the offensive end. Cornerstone looking like a very dangerous team early on. At the elbow, trying to go inside. Bykirk had to kick it out. Drews now to the corner. Shot clock down to 5. Drews to Cannoni. Cannoni will drive, try and get inside. Step back, and that's a nice shot from Cannoni to create some space in the paint.
And that was with 1 second on the shot clock.
Perfectly done. Cannoni, the guard, just 6'2", but able to step back, get some room, shoot it over the trees. Calvin needs a stop and another bucket here to try and get some momentum going, I think. Stegging inside, being defended. Now the double team comes over. He slings it all the way out top. Here's Cox. Out on the wing now. Hatter. Stegging goes to drive inside. Offensive foul. Stegging got pushed off with the forearm.
He was getting a little frustrated being double teamed down in the paint.
Yeah, no doubt. He's powered his way through for 3 buckets to start the game, and now that Calvin's coming over to help a little bit better, I think he wants to keep going inside, and just upset right there, picking up the offensive foul.
If he can keep his head, he's going to light it up and draw the fouls.
And Calvin definitely needed that one right there. As I mentioned, a bucket, now a stop. See if they can come back and get another basket here. Still down by 11. They've just got to get something going, maybe get up into double digits.
In for Calvin is another point guard, Luke Van Boxel, who is a sophomore.
And up top now, looking a little confused up top. Some of the veteran players for Calvin trying to figure things out. We're going to get a foul called down low on Michael Mclaughlin. As, it looked like Luke Van Boxel was going inside to post up. Van Boxel is a 6'3" guard, so maybe he thought he can get a little bit going in the paint. As you see, Mclaughlin certainly disadvantaged by his size at only 5'10". Drew shot fake again. Costin went up, elected not to take the 3. Now Drew's step back, he'll put it up. That's well short. He airballed it. Drew's a very good 3-point shooter. Hasn't been able to get a very good look yet. Steginga on the drive, going inside. Couldn't get the finish.
Bykirk with the rebound. Looks like Steginga's right under him.
Yeah, Steginga had a tough time getting out right there. Drews to the corner. Coach Vanderstreek screaming at his offense. Wants him to look inside right now. They're just moving around the perimeter.
You have 2 bigs, including Welsh, down on the blocks, and they were not looking down low.
Yeah, you got that kind of lineup in, and right now, at the moment, just Steginga in for Cornerstone. No Cox, no Vanderslice. They figure this is a time you can take advantage. I think Coach Vanderstreek's absolutely right. You got your big guys in for a reason. Got to look inside.
They just brought in another big, Mike Siegel from Fremont, a junior. 6'4".
6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 6'8". It's a lot of big guys out there right now, even the guards. Shot clock going down. Calvin's got to get a shot off. That's going to be a foul, and Mclaughlin, he's disappointed. He definitely got some ball, but it looked like he got plenty of arm from the side as well.
Michael Welsh was trying to get a shot off. It looks like it was forced. Michael Welsh fouled him, and Welsh came down awkwardly on his ankle, and he's limping.
Yeah, that's tough to see. Staying in for now. Yeah, McLaughlin, just a tough play. And they forced Calvin into a late shot clock fadeaway shot from Michael Wilkes. McLaughlin came across. He got some ball, but I mean, it clearly looked like he got some arm and a little bit of his head as well. Helping Calvin out, putting him on the line, and first one's good for Michael Wilkes. Denny's going to check back into the game. Bykirk will take a seat. Cox back in as well. He'll take Michael Bradshaw's place for the Golden Eagles.
Looks like they're going to keep Wilkes in there. Nobody's coming in to substitute for him.
Wilkes looking to finish off the pair from the line, and he does. And
seems to be running okay back on the other side of the court.
Lead back to single digits, 18-9. Cox again parries it. It's going to be tough to make a comeback if you can keep letting him see those open looks from outside the arc. And that's just too easy.
Calvin's bringing in another substitution. They're going to end up putting their entire roster in there. It's Matt Truella, a 6'5" guard from Granger, Indiana. Looks like he transferred from Penn.
Yeah, Truella has played in both games. Actually got the start in one game. Averages 12 minutes a game, 3 points a game so far this year. So Truella's going to get some playing time. As Calvin right now, I think Coach Vanderstreek's just rolling some different guys in. I think it's that situation where you say, all right, who wants to get in here and who wants to play? Who wants to make a stop? Because right now, guys on the floor aren't getting it done. It's 21-9. So Calvin here trying to get some things figured out. It's all Cornerstone so far. Unless we see a major change of pace, some sort of change of strategy from Calvin, doesn't look like they're going to come out on top.
Truella will be there. It looks like their 10th, 11th player into the game already.
Yep, Calvin, as I said, getting some different guys out. Coach Vanderstreek wants to see who can make something happen.
They really aren't strong in their guard play this year. I think that's one of the troubles for Calvin.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You lose a guy like Daly, a big scorer, a guard. Free ball coming from the wing. That was halfway down and out. Tough break right there for the Knights. As Van Boxel couldn't get it to go. Here's Costin up the other way. Costin Pivoted, looked to kick it out, and that one's off of Stegenga. I don't know that was tipped. They're going to say it. Okay, they're going to say it wasn't. I was going to say it looked to me like that went off of Stegenga. I think that's the right call. And Cornerstone bench, not a fan, but I think they got that one right.
That's good defense there in Calvin.
Yeah, they pressured up top, and it worked out. Head coach Kim Elders didn't like the call, but of course you're going to fight for your team. Coach Elders in his 24th season for Cornerstone. Plenty of experience there. Coach Vanderstreek in his 21st, so two veteran coaches going at it right here. Two programs that have had a lot of success in the Grand Rapids area. Trella going inside, and he lost it right away. They're going to try and fight for a jump ball down there in the paint. Eric Redmond came in, and he had himself tied up, so it looks like it's going to stay down here with Calvin.
Calvin and Truella both got down on the floor, or excuse me, Truella and Siegel.
Vanderslice back into the game. He'll take Stegenga's spot. Stegenga is a guy that's going to play a lot of minutes. He'll play usually 30 minutes a game or more.
And for Cornerstone and Jake Brubaker from Marshall.
Knocked down the two right there. It's good for Matt Truella. And Truella into the game, gets a bucket for his team. Lead back to 10.
Also in for Cornerstone is Eric Redmond from Fenton, Michigan.
Out on the wing. Now it's to Costin. He looked to drive inside, and we're going to get a blocking foul called.
Looked like he was he left his feet to pass the ball and just got under the defender.
And Mike Siegel called for the foul, his first foul there. Both teams with 3 apiece now. Cox open off the curl. That didn't go. Almost an offensive rebound underneath. Redmond couldn't get it to go. Very fortunate there. That's a pretty good look for Cox coming off the curl. And it was halfway down. It came back out. Inside, looking for Denny. And couldn't get it to go from the right on Vanderslice.
Tipped by Vanderslice and got the rebound by Costin.
Now here's Vanderslice on the offensive end. Look to swing it across. He's got a mismatch here. He can get inside.
Got double team there.
Plenty of help, and we're going to see another jump ball.
Vanderslice brought the ball down, and the guards got their hands in there.
Yeah, he brought it low, and everyone for Calvin, they saw that mismatch. He's in the paint by himself. It looked like about 3 different players came in at the same time, swarmed it, tried to grab that ball. And that's what you got to do right now if Cornerstone wants to keep trying to dominate inside. Oh, that was close to being taken away on the inbound by Siegel. Costin gets that's a foul on Canoni. Looked like he wanted to cut into the steal, anticipating Costin maybe crossing over. Costin kept going, and it took Canoni right into Costin's body. Easy foul call. He knew it.
It was also a bad foul.
No doubt about it. No need for it out there on the wing. And back in for Costin. Here's Costin. Inside. Vanderslice couldn't handle it at first. Now they kick it out to the wing. Brubaker down to Vanderslice. Wide open for Costin, the lefty. He gets the 3 to go. First points of the game for the freshman from Hudsonville. And he's a guy that I got to see several times, just about every Friday playing. And this is a guy that doesn't shoot a lot, but when he's open, you can count on him to make it for the most part from outside.
He's one of those guys who doesn't make many mistakes on the floor.
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason he's earned a spot in the starting lineup. Foul, though, looks like Vanderslice. And Vanderslice picks up his first foul.
Cornerstone's going to make another substitution. Michael Bradshaw from Crystal Lake, Illinois, back into the game. And for Calvin, looks like Michael Welch.
Yep, Welch back in. And Wilkes in as well. Back and forth, those two go. And it's a basket right underneath for Welch. Good ball movement, probably the best we've seen from Calvin in some time. It seemed like they had no ability to get inside earlier. Finally, they go in and out and get a nice bucket. Easy layup.
I think Vanderstreet probably impressed upon them that they need to go inside even if they're not going to score, but it's got to be an inside-outside game.
Another floater. Cox, too easy, and this guy already now with 13 points here. Still just under 8 minutes left in the first.
Corey Cox showing that he's not just a shooter. Nice drive.
And he's done that twice now. That little floater in the lane certainly has nice touch. Denny wants to drive, spins, kicks out. Long to Wilkes, in and out. Welch is right there for a rebound. Travella almost took it away from his own guy. And now a foul. Are they going to get Vanderslice or are they going to get Brubaker?
Might be Brubaker. No, it's
Vanderslice. I thought I saw him looking at Brubaker, which is what made me think that. But Vanderslice picks up his second. So he'll have to come to the bench here. And that could be big. Maybe that's what Kelvin needs to do, work inside, try and foul out some of these bigs. That could be their best chance. 26-13. Cornerstone still leads.
Steginga does check back into the game.
Here's Welch. Trying to drive on Steginga. That's going to be a foul on Brubaker. They are going to get Brubaker here.
It should have been on Welch.
He
drove to the basket and shoved his defender to the floor.
Yeah, lowered the shoulder, and it looked like it might have been offensive. But I'm thinking it looked like Brubaker just grabbed him a little bit before, bailed him out.
Back into Cornerstone is Eric Redmond.
Fresh shot clock for Calvin as they get it in bounds. Here's Canoni on the wing, defended by Costed. Now out onto the far wing, Chiarella looking to get inside. Denny hasn't been able to do anything inside. That's going to be a jump ball.
He went up trying to score. It was going to be an awkward shot, but he actually got bailed out that the defender got a hand on it too.
He basically trapped it into the gut of Steginga, it looked like, and able to keep possession of his team. Yeah, he just went in and didn't look like he had an exit strategy once he got into the paint. So
jump ball is Calvin.
Nick Kronemeyer from Hamilton into the game. Chiarella, tough jumper. My goodness, that's well off the mark.
Another forced shot by Calvin. It's good defense by Cornerstone in the paint.
Here's Steginga. Steginga went inside, lost it. That went out of bounds. It was tipped, so it'll stay with Cornerstone. Yeah, they're definitely working the double. He's going to have to look to kick it out.
Yeah, they double-teamed him. He brought the ball down and it was kicked out. In for Calvin again is Austin Beitkirk, another big.
You got some guys that can shoot the basketball for your Cornerstone. I think if you're Steginga, you kick out, you can find one of those guys. You can get some good shots. And he's getting roughhoused a little bit there. I think Calvin, and now we're going to see a foul on on Welch.
They're looking down low. If they're going to muscle up Steginga, it's got to be good. Right there, he was just shoving him.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to turn into a WWE match at some point. The way these guys are trying to get position inside, a lot of shoving going on. Steginga does look a little frustrated that it's been so rough. He hasn't been able to get a foul. He does get one there.
He's fine with it if he goes to the free throw line. He's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Absolutely. That's just been the case. They've been letting him play and jockey for position down there, so he's been capped off the. Oh, went in for the dunk, and boy, that was a late foul. It definitely was a foul, but it looked like nobody wanted to blow the whistle. Waited until he got on the floor before we heard both officials blow the whistle. Welch picks up another foul.
It was a nice pass into Steginga, who drove to the basket, and he was double-teamed immediately. And it was an easy foul call.
Steginga wanted to unleash some frustration. You could see he was going for the dunk there, and he's a guy that at the small college level, I doubt you'll find many better at dunking the basketball than Kyle Steginga. Really a guy with a lot of talents. Another one being shooting free throws, and he can certainly score in a lot of different ways. He's a tough guy to defend.
If he can keep his head today and not let the Calvin defenders rattle him, he's gonna light it up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's got 6 now. 7 with that first free throw, actually. Second one goes, so 8 total for Steginga.
(28-13) here.
Yeah, big lead, and see if Calvin can try and close the gap a little. At least try and get some momentum going into the half, because for the most part it's been all Cornerstone. This one's going to go against Kronemeyer. As Kronemeyer and Cox were battling for the ball down low. He's called for the push. Interesting call right there.
That was kind of odd, especially since they were trying to pass into the paint to a guy who's no more than 5'10".
Yeah. And Cox looked like he leaned in to try and get the steal, and I thought, really no call maybe was my initial thought. I thought they were going to call it on Cox when I heard the whistle, but instead, Kronemeyer picks up a tough foul as he was trying to get the ball in the paint.
Yeah, I think he was pretty much out of position. Calvin should have been kicking the ball around the perimeter to try to get a better shot than that.
So here we go, a 15-point lead for Cornerstone and the basketball. Steginga sets a screen. Inside, that's rejected by Canoni. My goodness, what a defensive play. Hatter tried going inside. Canoni swatted it away. Kronemeyer to the corner. Canoni, can he get a block and a three? No, it won't go, and a rebound underneath by Eric Redmond. Here's Hatter now. Now Steginga looking inside. Redmond wants to drive. Well defended by Bykirk. Corner, three going up, knocking it down. Michael Bradshaw over Drews. 31-13 the lead now for Cornerstone over Calvin.
It's the first time I've seen Bradshaw shoot. That was a nice smooth shot from the corner.
Yeah, it looked good, and it's dangerous. Cornerstone, a team that we know has size, can score inside, and more than just one or two shooters on their team. Looks like a lot of different guys can get it to go from deep. Canoni drives. Kronemeyer catches top of the key, spins, steps back. That's a tough shot, and he gets it to go.
That's a great turnaround jumper at the top of the key.
Kronemeyer with a big bucket. Lead back to 16. Here's Cornerstone, in and out to Cox now. Shot fake, Hatter drives, and he's rejected by Denny. That's twice in a row.
Second straight possession, Hatter's tried that, but it's just not going to be there.
Yeah, you know, he's doing a good job getting by the initial defender, but the help defense has been better recently for Calvin. And when you've got guys like Bykirk and Denny down there, I don't see Hatter finishing very easily near the rim.
If he dumps that pass off to one of his bigs, that would be a great play, but he got blocked both times.
Here's Cox to inbound underneath the basket. 17 seconds on the shot clock for Cornerstone. Cox gets a handoff from Steginga and gets a two, left it short. Steginga with an offensive board. He's going to spin. We're going to get a foul called. Is this going to go on Denny? No.
Calvin foul on number 42, Nick
Kronemeyer is going to get the foul. Okay.
Steginga got the rebound and then tried to spin and make a play, but the thing is, all it takes is a split second and two defenders are on him.
Yeah, absolutely. And right there, just kept trying to spin. Looks like somebody got a bit of his arm, so he's back to the line to shoot two more free throws. Pretty tough to stop Steginga, as you mentioned before. If he just keeps going hard, he's such a strong player, such an athletic player. He can jump, and he can really put his shoulders down and get in and score. That when he starts getting the fouls called, like we're seeing now, we're seeing his point total start to climb. Suddenly he's up into double digits.
He actually likes the contact. If I recall a game he had 40-plus points either last year or 2 years ago, he had 15 or 20 free throws made in a game.
Yeah, you can tell just by the way he plays. He's power moves in the paint, offensive foul call on Calvin, and everything's starting to fall apart for the Knights. Siegel picks up his foul here. Second foul for Siegel. And Calvin a foul away from double bonus for Cornerstone.
The refs are looking away from the ball there, and Siegel got called for looked like a push.
So just over 4.5 left in this first half. Cornerstone has been dominant in almost every aspect. Costin on the wing. Kronemeyer coming off. Nice defense from Kronemeyer there momentarily to prevent anything coming off that screen. Cox steps back.
Much better defense by Calvin on this possession.
Costin going to be fouled. Kronemeyer reaches in. And that's just tough right there. You get him down to 3 seconds, and Costin's heading to the baseline with nowhere to go, and now they get to go shoot for a couple free throws.
Kronemeyer actually played a really good defense there on Costin, but Costin fumbled the ball and I think he really went into Kronemeyer.
Yeah, he did. And when he fumbled it, I think Kronemeyer, sees a loose ball, tries to grab it. Costin flails around a little. You catch a piece of the arm, and that's it. Costin misses the first, but it is the double bonus. Now 10th foul on Calvin. Next foul against Cornerstone would send Calvin to the line 1-1. Costin gets the second one to go to split the pair. 4 points now for Riley Costin. Here's Canoni. We'll see if Calvin offense can get something going in the last couple minutes here. It's been slow all around. Tough to, I don't think I've seen him score on 2 possessions in a row. There's Denny, and that's a nice jump shot there.
I think that's his first bucket.
And Denny with his first 2 points right there. Drive, Bradshaw kicks now into the corner. Brubaker. Wow, that one rolled around twice. I thought that was going to fall after it rolled around once. And Cornerstone's got Calvin doubled up again. That's a tough take right there. Good defense, up and under offensive board, counted and the foul. Mike Siegel, chance for an old-fashioned three-point play on the O board, and it's been Cornerstone dominating the rebounds, finally seeing Calvin sneak in and get themselves a second chance.
There's a forced shot down on the block by Bykirk, but it was a nice rebound there by Siegel.
Yep, Siegel, chance to make it a three-point play from the line here and get the Knights up to 20 points. Free throw good, and Siegel's a guy with kind of mixed talents, a forward that certainly has a nice touch, can shoot the basketball. You see him right down the middle of the bottom of the net on the free throw. Stegging a good baseline drive inside. You're just not going to stop that. Once he gets on your hip, you're already lost. You're behind, and he puts it in. Not much trouble there.
That time he put it up right-handed on the left-handed block, but he had momentum going on his side, and Calvin just couldn't stop him.
Denny missed the three again, tipped out, and fortunate that Wilkes didn't get called for going over the back and gets the three in the corner, knocks it down.
Nice three by Wilkes in the corner.
13 points down, the lead. This game looks a little more respectable suddenly. And an offensive foul. Boy, here we go. Calvin could get some momentum back. They could be back down to 10 points all of a sudden. And, need to see him score a few times in a row, get a couple stops. Basketball can be a game of runs. Calvin just hasn't been able to get theirs going yet. And that's why they've been dominated by Cornerstone for the most part. Maybe they can get their run going here to close out the half.
That foul is by Bradshaw, his second.
A few guys in this game with two in the first half. They'll definitely have to be careful coming out in the second half. Out to Denny on the wing. Looking inside. Foul counted and the basket, the hoop and the harm for Wilkes again.
That's a great cut by Wilkes, and Cam Denny hit him in motion, and he scored.
Yeah, good job. And now, like I said, could be 10 points if Wilkes can get this free throw to go.
If Calvin can move the ball like they just did on that last possession, this will be a game.
Here we go. Free throw, no good. Lead stays at 11, 36-25.
Strong rebound there by Stegginga.
I think everything he does is pretty strong for the most part. You watch him out there. He's just so physically gifted. And catches right there, goes inside the drive, count the basket and the foul. And right there mixing strength with quickness. It looked like he was moving toward the basket before he even caught that pass. And just like that, Stegginga gets the basket to go. He's got 12 points, I believe, now. And a chance to make it 13.
It's perfect at the free throw line, too, 4 for 4. And 4 rebounds.
Pretty balanced game overall. He now leads Cornerstone with 14. Cox has 13. Free throw to go. 15 points now for Kyle Stegginga.
That happened quickly.
Yeah, because he's starting in this game. He had a couple buckets, but it seemed like he went a while with just 6 points. And he's picked up 9 fairly quickly. Turnaround. That's not a good shot right there from Wilkes, who just made a nice layup with the foul. Last possession, just turns around and chucks it up early in the shot clock.
It looks like Costin actually got a hand on that one. Wilkes is a pretty smooth player.
Costin for a guard definitely has some length, though. Stands around 6'4" in long arms. He's a good defender. Backed up. That one short, rebounded by Denny. Here come the Knights. Denny stops his dribble on the wing. They swing it around to Bykirk. Bykirk started the game with a 3. Haven't seen him much on the offensive end after that. He's called for a travel here.
Did not look like a travel to me.
No.
He made a move toward the basket. It was a little bit awkward, but it didn't look like a travel.
No, it looked like he dribbled, took a little crow hop, 2 steps, and then went up, and they called a travel before he even went in the air. That was, I have to agree, Lenny, that looked to me like probably could have just played through, but very interesting. 14-point lead for Cornerstone. Curl, Stegginga on the wing. I think Stegginga may have actually gotten away with a travel when he had it. Now they're going to call one on Brubaker. He looked like he turned the pivot foot, but they get one anyways on the other side, Brubaker. So these guys are watching the feet pretty closely. There's no doubt about that.
They are. Unfortunately, it does slow the game down a little bit when that happens.
Absolutely, but making the calls when you need to. Still a 14-point lead for Cornerstone in good position. Calvin, here's Denny. He's got an open look, and he still hasn't been able to hit a shot from outside. Somehow that ball pinballs around a bit and ends up in Costin's lap, and he picks it up. Cox wide open, money, and that one's on Denny. He's got to step out and be ready to pick him up. Like he thought Cox was just going to follow him down into the paint, and he trailed, and wide open 3 look. Lead up to 17 now for Cornerstone. I've said it the last few times down. Calvin just needs to get something going the last few possessions. Try and make things closer going into the half. Forced up shot again. That's an air ball.
Yeah, this time Wilkes went up even though he had 2 guys on him, and they got a hand on it. He was looking down low, but he just didn't have it. Right now they cannot get Bykirk in on the offense. He's still got 3 points.
Yeah, the first 3 in the corner was beautiful. I thought, okay, he's ready to get involved, but we haven't seen anything since then. About 6 seconds or so differential here on the shot clock and the game clock. So Cornerstone will have to shoot. And it's Cox. If he hits that, no, that's off the mark. Good rebound coming across by Siegel. I saw some lingering offensive players looking to sneak in to get the final possession for Cornerstone.
That was an NBA range 3-pointer there for Cox.
Yeah, very deep, but when you're feeling it, I mean, you can't be too mad at him taking 1 or 2 of those. Calvin's got to get one last shot off.
4 seconds.
Looking inside.
1 second.
That is not a good shot, but it's buried.
Wow.
What a look right there. And Michael Wilkes gets it to go. He's up to 7 points now.
It's an off-balance 3, and he got it, and the buzzer went off when the ball was in the air.
Yeah, so just a 15-point lead now for Cornerstone. Not just a very nice lead, but at least for Calvin's sake, they were able to get a bucket off. 9 points now after the 2 for Michael Wilkes. So that's a 42-27 lead for Cornerstone. They dominated most assets of the game. As you look down the line, Cornerstone shot 57.7%. Calvin just shot about 35%. And also out-rebounded Calvin 19-13. We've got some highlights to take you out to halftime. And that'll do it here until the second half. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. I'm Blaine Rizbicki with Lenny Padilla. We'll be back right after this.
Monday, hit the road.
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold? You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're a little lost. You know where the lake is?
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at DeVos Fieldhouse for the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic, the 20th annual. In the first game, Cornerstone and Calvin, and the Golden Eagles dominated the Knights. For the most part, they lead 42-27. I'm Blaine Wiersbicky with Lenny Padilla on the call for this first game. Cox led the way with 16 after a late 3 went in the half. Stanginga had 15. On the other side, Michael Wilkes led the Knights with 9. So that's the tail of the tape. And Calvin's going to have to turn something major around, down 15, heading into the second half if they want a chance to come back in this one.
Stanginga is 5 for 6 from the floor and 5 for 5 from free throw range, so he's had a nice game.
He's the kind of guy that just asserts his will and gets the shot that he wants. And when you're able to do that, shoot at a high percentage when most of them you're getting are layups. He's quick off the dribble. He's strong in the post. He's a guy that anytime he's inside that three-point line almost, you just kind of look to double team him. So here we go. Back in action, Cornerstone starts. Mclaughlin drive inside to Cox. Couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Tipped out. Cox from the corner. Shot fake. Drives on Denny. Puts it up with the right, and that's another floater there. And I think he's 3 for 3 on those runners driving where he just tosses it up and gets it to go.
I think Cox is going to get those all day long because they're going to play him to shoot threes.
Yep, he get a shot fake and get inside. He's got a great chance to get a good look. So first bucket of the half to Cornerstone. Denny trying to go inside. Had it stripped away. Mclaughlin. Here's Cannoni back. Denny in the middle. That's a clean block. My goodness. Tipped out, but it looked like Denny stepped out on the line, so it'll stay with Cornerstone.
I think that was a bad idea down low on the other side. Denny trying to back down. I think it was Stanginga in the paint. It just wasn't going to happen.
He just took too long, and Cornerstone had time to give him a look and help out as soon as he turned. And no chance. So here's Cornerstone underneath their own basket. Great block from Cannoni on the run to avoid the foul and get a clean hand-on ball block. Cornerstone gets it back. Costin to Vanderslice. Back across to Cox. Looked like Cox could have gotten an open 3 there if he wanted it, but instead he'll keep this possession going. Mclaughlin out on the wing. They'll go inside. Vanderslice, good steal. Kicks it across. It's tipped. It'll get to Cox in the corner. Won't go. Offensive rebound. Mclaughlin goes inside. Vanderslice up and an easy bucket. The smallest guy on the floor gets the offensive rebound.
He made the right move, too, in kicking it out to the biggest guy on the floor, right on the block, and puts it right back up and in. Coach
Vanderstreet's going to be out of breath by the end of this game if Calvin keeps continuing to play the way that they are. Very frustrated that this team's not moving the basketball. Denny, good shot from up top. Last possession around said we got to move the ball. We've also heard him say you've got to get it inside. Pretty stagnant, and now we want something to box out more. As you see last time, the shortest guy on the floor getting an offensive rebound for Cornerstone.
That was the best offensive move that Cam Denny's had today. It was a nice smooth shot.
Denny with 4 now. Leads at 16 for Cornerstone. Inside, Stanginga, too easy. Such a great job when he gets underneath of avoiding getting a block. He uses his body to kind of kick his hands out in front of him a little and avoid the block, and he gets it to go every time underneath, it seems like, without any trouble.
That time Denny was smart actually not to foul him because he was going to score anyway.
Denny already with 2, didn't want to pick up a third foul early in the second half here. Out top, Wilkes. Now over to Siegel. Shot clock winding down. Siegel will drive. Step back, tough look, well short. That's an air ball. And forced up. Shot clock violation.
Bykirk had no other choice. I mean, he did get a nice job getting the rebound, but he just had to throw something up there. Vanderstreek is yelling at his team to run through the offense.
He's yelling something just about every possession, and you can't blame him right now. They're in danger of going down 20 here early on in the second. And up top, Costin looks to feed Stanginga. Denny defends. Going back out top to Costin. Mclaughlin inside, Vanderslice. This is a good matchup, but he just kind of didn't realize where he was at first turn, threw it over the rim. A pretty good look. You'll take that chance again if you're Cornerstone. Vanderslice down there.
There's good passing on the offense.
Not this time for Calvin, though, as Vanderslice was there like a free safety over the top to tip that away. Cox to Costin. Costin, tough take and a tough finish. Looked like he might have even gotten a little contact on the arm, right through it, and got it to fall. And that's what I saw from him. One of the many things I saw calling high school games. Can shoot from outside, can defend, can run the offense, but he can drive too. Really, his talents are pretty much limitless. He can do just about anything you can ask him to do on the floor.
As a freshman, I think he's just learning when to assert himself.
Yeah. And that's a foul. Nice shot fake there to draw the foul on Steginga. And just like that, Steginga is going to pick up another foul, his second. And yeah, you're absolutely right about Costin, though, and that he's a young guy that when he starts to learn to be confident, realize when he can take more shots, I think he's going to be a huge addition to this program. It could be a scary team with a guy like Steginga coming back and a guy like Costin getting more experience. First free throw good from Wilkes.
Entering the lineup for the Knights, number 50, Michael Welch. For Cornerstone.
Michael Welch comes in for Calvin, and for Cornerstone, number 23, Michael Bradshaw.
Wilkes, the only scorer in double digits for Calvin. Now 11 with that free throw, and right there, that was weird. Steginga and Welch take a tumble there.
And neither one came up with the ball.
No, not at all. Coach Van Streek wanted a foul on Steginga. Good defense there. Steginga looked to drive, and he lost it. And yeah, that's great defense, just staying in front right there. Steginga looking to force his way inside, as he often does.
He probably could have been called for an offensive foul there. He lowered his head and barreled into Michael Welch.
Absolutely.
Welch kept his ground.
He had his head in his gut. And if Welch would have fallen there, I think we do see the offense foul, but worked out in the end as it went out of bounds. Drive. Wilkes trying to go inside. Spins out now. Look up top. Open three ball. Siegel. Back iron wouldn't go. Rebound by Welch. I think we're going to foul. Yeah, it looked like Vanderslice went over the top. He doesn't believe it. Hanser's here, but he looked pretty clearly like he went over the top a bit to me. But he's called for the push. I guess you could go either way.
I think it's a good call.
Yeah. So Calvin will keep it underneath. It looked like they were going to get the rebound anyways, and that's maybe why Vanderslice just should have eased off a bit. Give Calvin a free 30 seconds with the basketball, and he picks up a foul. Vanderslice now with 3 fouls, so he'll have to catch some pine. 3 ball, good, Denny. And we've seen spurts of good offense for Calvin, but it just hasn't been consistent enough right now for them to compete with Cornerstone for the most part.
He seems to like those long threes, and that's the first one to go in.
Yeah, I've told you, last year in those Hope Calvin games, he buried some threes from NBA range, even beyond NBA range. Shots that you think, why on earth has anybody taken it? But he's making them.
He seems to need a little bit more time to make those threes. Maybe that's why.
Yep.
In for Cornerstone is Cox, and then in for Calvin is number 42, Nick Cronemeyer, and
Truella looks like number
Truella.
40. Yeah. So we're going to have some new faces out on the floor. 16-point lead for Cornerstone. Out on the wing, back over. Cox stuck with Cronemeyer. Back out deep 3, Bradshaw. Oh my goodness, Michael Bradshaw can't really defend it when he catches it that deep and just puts it up right away.
If you're going to have a shot forced at the shot clock, that was a good one.
Yeah, not too bad. Lead back up to 19.
Bradshaw showing his range tonight. I think that's his second three-pointer.
Trella. Now Canoni looking to make something happen. Shot clock down to 10. Calvin's got to get moving. They go inside. Nice job. Denny turns. Right hand. Back iron. Wouldn't go. Rebound by Bradshaw.
Denny's making much better offensive plays today. That one didn't go down, but it was still a nice move.
That's good transition defense to keep Bradshaw from an easy bucket. They could go up top, maybe. No, they will not. It's going to be a drive from Cronemeyer. Offensive board. And that one's good. Denny's starting to work into this game, become a bigger impact. He's got 9 points now. Steginga and the foul. That's a nice finish right there. Looked like he got bumped, maybe tapped on the head as well. Looked like a couple guys made some contact. He's able to get through, finish it.
Not going to be denied there. He had a head of steam, and he was going to, whether he scored or not, he was going to get fouled.
Yeah, it's just so hard to stop a guy like that when he gets going to the basket, like you said. It's just almost impossible to keep him in front. He's athletic and quick enough, and he's strong enough to get through contact and finish. He gets so many chances at the free throw line for that reason. He's already got 17 points.
Denny comes out of the game for a breather for Calvin. It's kind of unfortunate timing since he's been the hot hand.
And to correct myself, it was 19 after that bucket, so the free throw makes it 20. So Kyle's taking it up to 20 points now. Having himself a day. He averages right about 20 points a game, so he's already right there. Here's Canoni on the wing. Trying to look inside. Credit Calvin, they are looking to get it in there. Welch, nice little two-point basket. And that's a thing that Vandestreek was talking about so much, getting the ball inside. Looks like they're definitely being intentional, at least, about getting it in there, whether they're going to score inside right away or not. 3 ball short, wouldn't go. Redmond didn't get it down. Welch with the board. Canoni, Trivella, Bykirk. Saw him hit a 3 early. Haven't seen him take another from that deep, really. Here's Kronemeyer. Halfway through the shot clock. Bykirk just 1 of 2 total on the day. 1 for 1 from 3.
He didn't seem to want to go into the paint. That's really where they need him.
Canoni well short, and we're going to get a foul. And Calvin bailed out again with a late shot clock foul. And no argument, though. I think Bradshaw definitely shoved him going underneath.
In for Calvin is guard Luke Van Boxel.
Third foul now on Bradshaw. And yep, Luke Van Boxel has not scored yet today, but into the game. Van Boxel, a little bit lengthier point guard.
Oh, he just got bumped off the ball, got thrown into the stands by Michael Mclaughlin.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mclaughlin didn't get a foul called, but on the other end, we get a foul call, and Cornerstone's going to go to the line. Yeah, right there, it looked like Van Boxel had the inside position. McLaughlin came behind. There was definitely contact.
He got shoved into the stands for sure.
Yeah, he definitely got away with one there, and the ball, even more fortunately, stayed right in bounds somehow. Picked it up, went the other way, and chance here to get a couple points. Eric Redmond at the line. First one good. He can make this the 20-point game once again if he can finish off the pair. Redmond, second time from the line, buries this one as well. So the lead up to 20 for Cornerstone. Here we go. Calvin back on offense. Van Boxel inside. Troella turns. That's a pretty good move. Couldn't get the finish. Kronemeyer gets the rebound. He's going to be called for the travel as he fell to the floor. Couldn't quite keep his feet in traffic. That's tough. You got to think maybe bumped into a leg or stepped on a foot or something like that, made him fall to the ground, and nobody fouled him, so that's a travel. It's tough, but
I think he had to go so far airborne to get it. When he came back down, he just lost his balance.
Yeah, he's just in there amongst some of the trees for Cornerstone, and pretty impressive just to get to that ball. Here's Marquis Hatter. Now Redmond. Welch has done a nice job defending so far. Cox, that one wouldn't go. Rebound by Van Boxel. But yeah, since Steigen got dominated early on, we've seen Welch defend him a few possessions, and Welch, I think, has done a pretty good job for the most part. Now here's Welch with the basketball. They're looking inside. Wilkes on Cox. Step back.
Right there.
Yeah, and just couldn't quite do anything with it. And that's a kick. Bounce pass tried to be snuck through there by Van Boxel. Calvin still trails by 20 points with 12 left in this game. Vanderslice back in for Cornerstone. And looks like Siegel coming in as well for Calvin. Siegel just 1 of 6 shooting so far today.
Siegel and Van Boxel are both from Fremont, Michigan. Van Boxel went to high school, though, in Montague.
Here's another 3 try, and that one wouldn't go. Foul going to be called on one of the 2 Calvin players that went up for it. I think they might get Siegel. Yeah, they get Siegel with the foul, and for Siegel, that's his 3rd.
I think they're okay if Bykirk wants to shoot the 3, but the thing is, with his size, they really need him in the paint. That was just his 3rd free field goal attempt today.
Yeah, and he hit the first 3-pointer. That's a good look, and you know, he didn't miss it egregiously by any means. He stepped into it and just rattled around and popped out. Wouldn't mind seeing him get a few more looks, but yeah, if he's 6'8", why isn't he helping to get inside to rebound there for Calvin? Kick it out, Cox. Nice drive. Here's that floater again, money. And you called it. They have so much respect for that 3. You could see him flying out. Shot fake, and he gets by with ease, and he's really perfected that floater.
He had Bykirk running at him, and he just shot faked and drove to the lane.
Yeah, his eyes got wide, and he just knew he was going to be able to blow by. Hatter picks up the foul, trying to get the steal there, his first foul.
Denny checks back into the game, which is a good thing for Calvin. Off goes Bykirk.
Yeah, Denny has really picked things up here in the second half on the offensive end. Up top, he'll shoot from there. Don't believe he won't. Here's Denny on the wing. He will put up this one. Contested, buried it. That's a really nice contest from Vanderslice. He got his hand right up to his hand, right in his line of sight. Still buried it.
Denny is definitely feeling it.
And he can get in those modes where Cam Denny can hit from deep, really force you to come out and respect him on defense, just like with Cox. And with his size, you know he can score inside as well. Good defense there, and that's just a turnover. So, you know, we've seen these moments where Calvin can get a good offensive possession, a nice stop, force some turnovers, but then Cornerstone just goes on a big run, and they've really controlled the tempo of this game. Calvin has not been able to get any sort of run going on their offensive end, and that's why it's still a 19-point lead for Cornerstone.
Calvin's going to try another guard here with Tony DeWitt, a freshman out of Calvin Christian.
Calvin Christian to Calvin College. Here's Van Boxel driving all the way in. That one tipped out. DeWitt and Denny, airballed that wide right. And this one will stay with Calvin. Van Boxel had a drive earlier that I thought maybe he could just try and float one, you know, just like we see from Corey Cox. Kicked it out, it got tipped. He was lucky. Calvin stayed with possession. So now they'll inbound with 11 seconds on the shot clock. 3-ball, back iron. Siegel looked like he kind of hurried that a little, wasn't expecting 3. We're going to see a foul. This looked like it was before the shot.
It looked like he was going to foul him because he was going to get the layup anyway, so it's actually a pretty good foul.
Siegel picks it up, though. That's the only problem for Calvin. He's got 4 fouls already. Siegel just 1 of 7 from the field now today, but still one of those guys that can be a presence down low that they need. And right now, Steginga getting some valuable minutes of rest on the bench for Cornerstone. They still lead by 19. Nice take and a good finish right there. Marquis Hatter gets it to go.
Very strong move to the basket.
And a tough angle, turned back over with the right, got it to go, and that one is just lost by Siegel. Siegel looking at the ref like he thought he was fouled.
I think he thought it was maybe poked away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought I saw. Just poked away. He looked at the ref.
Yeah,
I mean, the ref did award it to Calvin, so that's why I wondered what he was looking at the official about. Denny gets it to go. Man, contested shots. You can't blame Vanderslice. The defense is just fine.
That was a bad defense there. They gave him a wide open shot off the inbound.
Coming out top, Drew Baker.
I think Calvin has some weapons, but Cornerstone has way more. Calvin really has trouble handling the ball. They do not have a traditional point guard.
Costin steps in, and that was halfway down, wouldn't go. And knocked off of Costin. A really nice move, again, from the freshman point guard. Like you said, he's not taking a lot of shots, but it seems like when he realizes he's got a really good quality one, he can take it. He knows that, as you said, Cornerstone has so many weapons that he doesn't need to be a big scorer right now. He's just doing a good job facilitating, and missed the shot there, but that was his first missed shot of the game. He's 2 for 3. And that was a good look to step through and get a nice jumper, but wouldn't quite fall. Here's Calvin the other way. Van Boxel being pressured heavily by Mclaughlin, and McLaughlin's going to get a steal. Van Boxel's just looks lost right now, and that's a dunk right there. 2 big steps from Vanderslice down the lane. Van Boxel just looks lost right now. He's all alone on an island. And
he's out of position. He's really a 2 guard. He's a better shooter and driver, but the thing is they're putting him at point guard, which is not his natural position. And it's obvious.
Yep, and he's, like I said, no one's coming up to help him there. He's on his own, and foul called on Jake Baker here.
It's good defense on McLaughlin, but Van Boxel's just overmatched.
Yep. Baker didn't like that call at first, but it looked like he had a lot of contact trying to jump in. Cornerstone guards really trying to pressure right now. Going inside, Welch on Vanderslice. That's a great spin move right there. Easy left-hand layup once he got by.
Where has that been all day? That was a great move.
Yeah, no kidding. Welch is in to defend Steginga again. He's done well early. He's fronting Steginga. I think you have to. Vanderslice back out. They go inside. Vanderslice throws it away. He just got himself in a position where he didn't really know what to do. Here's Wilkes. He'll pull up. Jumper in and out. Wouldn't go. And nice job by Baker to come out with that. move it up the floor for his offense. Costin step back, thought he might take the three. Keep moving it around. Steginga, once again, nice defense from Welch and throwing away. I'm telling you right now, Steginga is who this offense runs through, 20 points, and he's been ineffective just about every time I've seen Michael Welch defend him. I've got to give him a lot of credit.
Well, in that case, Steginga is out of position. He's up by the three-point line where that's just not his game up there.
Yep. Welch doing a nice job just backing off, staying vertical, keeping him in front, not allowing him to get those easy drives inside. So you think maybe you could work Steginga back to the basket a bit more, but that's what Vanderslice is in there to do as well. But still a 19-point lead for Cornerstone. They're not too troubled. Nate Drew's in the game for Calvin. Put up, Welch couldn't go. Rim's not very friendly on quite a few shots we've seen from both teams recently. Oh, that's just too easy. All the way up the floor, nobody back. Vanderslice, beeline, straight to the basket. That's what they teach you to do. That big man, go to the basket. Somebody will find you.
That was an easy half-court pass there from Mclaughlin to the streaking Vanderslice.
Lead up over 20 again. Denny range. Won't go, though. Jump ball underneath, and we saw Denny airball his last try, and that went off the backboard wide right. So maybe just feeling like he's a little bit too much pressure. He's forced a few shots, I think. And Calvin finds himself down 21.
Cox checks back into the game for Cornerstone, and Tony Ganoni for Calvin.
For Cornerstone, number 34, Corey Cox.
7:38 left. Calvin needs a miracle in this one. Welch has 4 fouls, so that's tough. He'll have to come out. Yeah, pretty soon you'd think, and they'll keep him in for now. I guess why not just keep him in, see how he does. This one's going to stay here. But yeah, 7:23 left, a guy with 4 fouls. A lot of times you'd see him come out, but when you're down 21, he's doing such a good job defending. I don't see why not. Here's Cornerstone. Certainly no problem taking it down to the lower part of the shot clock with a lead late in the game like this. Drews will watch it go out. Chance for Bykirk to check back in for the Knights. Take Denny's spot. Bykirk listed at 6'8".
Let's see if we can get him into the paint and see what he's got. He was a pretty good player at Unity Christian. I think he's a much better player than he's shown tonight.
And Bykirk's the tallest guy on the floor for Calvin. He's listed at 6'8". Cam Denny's listed at about 6'6". I think he might be more 6'7", but yeah, even... Oh, wow, don't break your ankles there, Welch. Nice take, though, and gets to the finish. I thought he was going to fall before he made it into the paint.
Very nice drive. Got to have one of the big guys try to score.
Drew Baker would have been a circus finish, but he does get a foul, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And they're going to get Welch, and that's number 5 for Michael Welch, and he looks like he can't believe it.
That is his 5th.
So Welch, who will have to lead the game today, had 10 points and 4 rebounds, 5 of 6 shooting from the field, very efficient, and also played very nice defense on Steginga. He's definitely one of the bright spots for Calvin this evening. Tough to see him have to come out with 6:44 remaining.
Yeah, he was just starting to feel it offensively, and that came at a bad time for him.
Yep, it's unfortunate for the Knights. Vanderslice will get a seat here, and we will see Redmond coming in. I think part of that being that Welch had to come out, so I think, okay, we don't need a ton of size. But Denny back out onto the floor quickly. Came out when Welch came in last, or Bykirk rather, excuse me. Second free throw won't go. Lead at 20.
I think one thing Cornerstone has on Calvin is that they have a go-to guy or a couple of go-to guys. Right now,
Sure.
Calvin really just did not have that guy.
Absolutely. Their go-to guy last year was Jordan Daly. They lose Daly, and right now they're definitely a team early on. You talk about this a lot with teams early, especially teams that lose scoring at the top. You're looking for identity right now. I think that's what Calvin's looking for. Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the other guy? And Calvin right now, they just don't look like they have anyone like that.
Yeah, they had point guard troubles, and they do not have a main scorer, so they're going to have to figure that out.
No doubt about that, and you hope that as the season goes on, that guys get experience. They can really figure out where they fit in on this team. 69-47 the lead. 3 going up from the corner wouldn't go. Rebound by Redmond. Back out wide now. Cornerstone would be wise probably to take some time off the shot clock. Foul called on Denny, and Denny doesn't like that.
That looked like it was all ball.
It did look like ball to me, and Steginga just flailed there. And I think when you got a player like Steginga with his ability, guys like that probably are going to get a call or two more often down in the paint. It's because of their talent, and that looked like a pretty good defense. I'd have to agree with Denny yelling over our way, that's all ball. Steginga free throw rattles it home. Boy, just when you think he's finally going to miss one, he gets a nice roll. He's been very efficient from the stripe so far. 7 for 7 on the day. He's 8 of 9 from the field. That's an efficient 22, now 23 points.
Costin and Bradshaw check back into the game. Cornerstone.
24-point night. And Steginga going to come back out, and Tyler Smith going to come back in for the first time. The senior forward from Zeeland East, seeing some playing time late. Out on the wing, Calvin looking to work it inside. DeWitt, Joella, now Bykirk. Denny will see what he can do. Trying to attack and gets the bucket. I think that's a good idea. You've got a guy for Cornerstone and Tyler Smith, the senior that just came into the game late. And Denny wanted to attack right at him, and he got the bucket. Approaching the 5-minute mark here. 71-49 lead for Cornerstone over Calvin. Costin, corner, wouldn't go. Costin made his first two, missed his second two, but still a quality look.
Yeah, it is a good look, especially for a freshman trying to find his way. That was a good three-pointer.
Yeah, and the more shots you take, the more confidence you can build when you start making some of those shots, in and out. And, getting put in the starting lineup as a true freshman will give you some confidence as it is. And right now, I think he's just kind of seeing himself as a freshman as the three goes up from the wing. That one's good. Michael Mclaughlin gets it to go, and finally he's on the board. Hadn't scored yet.
He's more of a playmaker, and they need him to play good defense and distribute the ball.
Absolutely. He's done a nice job of it.
Calvin would take a player like that right now.
Absolutely, somebody that can run this offense. I think they'd take Riley Costin to come up and run their offense for them right now. Many teams would.
There we go.
Foul, and they finally work it into the first time. And all game, I believe, we see Austin Bykirk shooting in the paint, trying to work and get something to go. And what do you know, he's going to the free throw line. His team down 25 with 4:08 left, though. I think it may be a touch too late.
That's the kind of offensive play that they really need. He looked like he wanted that bucket, and he got double-teamed. Now he's at the free throw line. Cornerstone's emptying their bench now. In for Cornerstone is number 24, Lance Martin, and number 10, Eric Evans from Jenison.
Yep, you're seeing some guys coming in late here, some upperclassmen that don't get the chance to play a lot during the game. So this is the time you get some of those guys in, guys that have worked hard in the program for years, get the chance to see the floor laid on here. The free throws knocked down by Bykirk.
Martin is a junior forward from Kingman, Arizona.
Traveling a long way to come to CU, and a drive there wouldn't go, but going to the line for two.
It looks like the last player on the Cornerstone's bench is about to check in, number 21, Kyle Hayes, freshman from Ypsilanti.
Yeah, Hayes, a freshman, and listed at 6'7", 185. So for Cornerstone, it's like, my goodness, they got all this size, and a couple guys are juniors still coming back, but then they get another freshman in Kyle Hayes. 6'7", 185, some more size.
Calvin will have another one of their bench players check in, Carlos Amoros.
And look at this kid coming in. Hayes, the freshman, got some length. He's going to stand out and be one of the biggest guys on the floor right next to Bykirk there. Bykirk listed at 6'8", Hayes listed at 6'7". I think he might be just as tall, if not have a shade, but I'm sure the hair helps with that illusion that I've got going there.
Well, he looks every bit of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coming over from the east side, Ypsilanti. Cornerstone recruiting from all over the place. Arizona, east side, plenty of local guys as well. Leads 24 for the Golden Eagles. Bykirk going inside. Another foul. 2 times in the paint. 2 fouls for Bykirk. He's going to go to the line again.
Martin quickly got a foul there. Or sorry, not Martin.
Hayes.
Hayes.
Yeah, freshman into the game, and just like that, a foul.
6'7", 185 from Ypsilanti Arbor Prep.
1-1. Bykirk gets the first to go. And Bykirk, who started the game with 3 points right off the bat, hadn't scored since. He went to the free throw line just a moment ago, got 2, and chance to make it another 2 right here. Those are good. He's got 7. So just a formality really at this point. The game 22 points out of reach for Calvin, 3:40 to go. Cornerstone, chance to get some young guys and some older guys that don't see the floor as much, some experience. Nice drive inside, but it couldn't be finished. We're going to see a foul called. Jake Brubaker went in and missed the shot, looked pretty clean. And a late foul called. They got Truella with the foul. Tough break for Calvin, I guess, late. Game out of reach as it is, but it's kind of the way the night's gone. It seems like they haven't been able to stop Golden Eagles from getting inside and scoring at will. And once the fouls started coming for Stegenga, started getting to the line and knocking down 8 of his 8 free throw attempts for a perfect night at the charity stripe. It was all over from there.
And for Calvin, Nate Meppelink from Linden Christian from Linden, Washington. And number 14, or sorry, that was Nate Meppelink. And number 52, Nate Rinke from Rochester Hills, Rochester Adams.
Looks like Carlos Amoros out on the floor as well. So pretty undersized team right now for Calvin if you look at it. Of course, the exception being the big man up top.
With Amoros, you never know. This could be a good opportunity to show that he can play the point.
And he's a guy that saw playing time last year, I recall, when he came here, and I saw the game at Hope and the game at Calvin. He was in the game consistently last year, so really confusing to me that we haven't seen him in until this point in the game, especially considering how much they were struggling to find somebody to bring it up the floor. Amoros barely saw any minutes tonight. First free throw, no good.
He comes from a program by Tom Vanderklay over at Wyoming. They like to really push the ball. So Calvin could use an offensive guy like that.
Meppelink does get the second to go, splits the pair. Nate Meppelink, the junior guard, 6'3", 195 from Linden, Washington. So definitely coming quite a ways to play for Calvin. A 23-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Foul on the offensive end, it looks like. 55, and that's going to indeed be an offensive foul. This one goes against the senior, Tyler Smith.
He was trying to post up there. I'm not sure if he used his hands to push off, but just didn't work for him.
Here's Amoros up the floor. Carlos Amoros, 5'10", 180-pound guard. As we mentioned, another local product out of Wyoming. Truella can't get the jumper to go. Rebound underneath. And that's the first board for Kyle Hayes, the freshman, who's got nothing but 2 fouls up until that point. Driving inside, Smith gets it to go and kept that dribble pretty high, but he just powered his way in eventually.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Yeah, definitely some thickness there for Tyler Smith. He's not a incredibly tall, 6'5", but 225 pounds.
He probably played on the football team over there at Zeeland also. Lance Martin picking up the foul for Cornerstone. I thought maybe they were going to get Kyle Hayes again. That would have been his 3rd foul already in just, 4 minutes or so? Yeah, you want to get into the score sheet, but that's not the way you want to do it.
No, he did pick up a rebound last time, like I mentioned, so he's in there for something other than that. Once again, this first free throw is missed. And Meppelink missed the first last time, but finished off to split the pair. This time he left it way short. So 1 of 4 so far for Meppelink today from the free throw line. High pass saved. Here's Brubaker, one of the only few players in the game right now that sees regular playing time. In fact, he's pretty much the only one. Deep 3 from the wing. Boy, that one looked pretty good from our vantage point. It was on line. Just caught the front of the rim and then the back and popped out. Nice shot block there. Kyle Hayes came across, and I think right there, back the other way, offensive board. Now he gets his shot blocked the other way.
Yeah, I don't think Tony DeWitt saw that coming.
I was just going to say, DeWitt didn't see it coming, and then at the same time, Hayes didn't see it coming on himself on the other end, and Trevella got the block. 1:30 left. Jump shot up and good. Deep two buried by Eric Evans, his first basket of the game.
Evans was a nice player at Jenison. Very good scorer.
And lead back to 27. Hope and Aquinas teams back in the entrance to the locker room, waiting to come out, play their game after this. That three's missed. Rebound brought down. Remember, we've got the Hope and Aquinas game coming up right after this. We'll be broadcasting that as well, along with both games tomorrow. 81-54. Cornerstone with a commanding lead late. And long three won't go for Evans. Amoros back up the floor with the Knights. Looks like he's going to go all the way. Pretty good drive, and he caught a foul. Got the arm there. And that's a nice look from Amoros.
Cornerstone foul on number 10, Eric Evans.
44.2 seconds left. Amoros earns a trip to the line, and right there, taking it all the way up, inserting himself and into the offense directly. Nice drive over the left, got the foul, and yeah, you wonder why Amoros maybe didn't see some more time, try and create that for the Knights. Maybe now they will, maybe tomorrow, against an Aquinas team that we don't expect to be quite as good as this Cornerstone team, at least on paper and the record we've seen so far. Maybe we'll see him get a little more time tomorrow.
I think they need to give him a look. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Clear out right there, and a foul going to be called as Lance Martin went inside. And boy, the last minute and a half or 2 minutes of this game really slowing down more than you might expect in a 26-point game. But I think about the Hope women's basketball games I call when they're up on teams by 40 early in the second half, and you realize, you're getting different players out there. This first free throw is knocked down by Martin. These are players that don't get to play regularly. They're going to go out and play hard. They're trying to earn playing time, get some good looks out there. So you're not going to see teams dribble it out. These are guys that want to play some basketball.
Yeah, they call it garbage time, but for these guys, it is not garbage time. This is their season.
Yeah. And for now it is, and they're looking for an opportunity perhaps to get more playing time and make it so that they're not just in for this so-called garbage time late in games. 83-55 the lead now. Cornerstone up 28, almost lost. DeWitt was right there. Drive, Torella couldn't get it to go. Good help side defense. Rebound, but a foul. I think they'll probably get Martin here. Yep, Lance Martin going to pick up his second foul.
Nice weak side rebound there by David Rinke, 6'8".
Rinke, another guy with some size for the Knights, just a freshman from Rochester Hills, went to Rochester Adams High School. 6'8", 220, a guy who's, got some height, but also a little bit of thickness to him, just as far as freshmen go. Certainly a guy that could eat up some minutes and eat up some boards underneath as he misses the second free throw as well. And Cornerstone's just going to dribble it out. Up top, the senior Tyler Smith will close out this game. A 28-point victory for Cornerstone over Calvin. Final score 83-55. The Golden Eagles take down the Knights.
Very impressive win by Cornerstone. Now you can see why they've only lost one game this year.
Yeah, at home early. You wonder what Spring Arbor did. They've dominated a lot of their other opponents, and definitely a team that will probably be sitting up at the top of the NAIA Division II rankings for most of the season until something drastically different happens. Cornerstone shot over 50% from the field. Calvin only shot about 34, and they also got to the free throw line more. Cornerstone had more rebounds. Turnovers were even at 12 apiece. Cornerstone just came out ready to play. They had more weapons. 16 for Denny, 11 for Wilkes to lead Calvin, 10 for Welch. And Steggingale led the way, all scores, 24 points for the Golden Eagles, 20 for Cox, and Vanderslice, the third player in double digits, with 10. We've got some highlights from the second half to take you out. We'll be back in just over 20 minutes or so to broadcast the Hope versus Aquinas game coming up next from DeVos Fieldhouse. With Lenny Padilla, I'm Blaine Weir-Spicky. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back for the second game coming up shortly.